Why are we taking so long here? Kristan T Harris here with another edition of Free and Equal Elections Foundation Network. We're going to be doing a great interview today. We are interviewing Jason Call from Jill Stein's campaign manager over there. And it's pretty interesting because there's so many different ideologies and that we like to support. Our main goal here at Free and Equal is to bring awareness of presidential candidates of all viewpoints, not just the two-party system, which seems to be corrupted by the same multinational corporatists funded by them. And we want you guys to hear more voices, because more voices equals more choices. Jason Call, welcome to the broadcast. First thing I got to ask you is, for listeners that are out there that are unfamiliar with the Green Party, what is the Green Party and what are some of the key topics that you guys are concerned about?
The Green Party started as an environmentally focused party, but we have branched out into a lot of other areas: energy, sustainability, social justice, criminal justice, anti-war. We consider ourselves an eco-socialist party, and really reducing corruption in government. We have, to kind of get democracy back to people. We have 4 pillars. We have, I'm not prepared to talk about what the Green Party stands for, like in a really organizational sense, but I'll tell you, we support LGBTQ rights. We support cannabis legalization at the federal level. We support energy sustainability, renewable sustainables, getting off of fossil fuels, going through the platform. What else? We need a sane foreign policy. We need to reduce the military budget, stop all of the really insane wars around the world. Our current duopoly is pushing us towards, nuclear conflict on potentially 3 fronts right now: in Gaza, in Ukraine, and with the saber rattling with China. And I want to say, first and foremost, our goal is to stop the genocide in Gaza.
All right, so nominated as your main presidential candidate this year is Jill Stein. She's been a powerhouse over the last 10 years, championed the Green Party agenda, amongst other things. What are some of the key things that you've noticed that Jill has been basically championing over some of the other candidates that you've noticed? What are the things that separate her from, let's say, the Joe Biden and Donald Trump of the world?
Well, I mean, the Green Party rejects all corporate money, so we're 100% grassroots. We are we want to get a public financing system of elections in place. We don't think that either individuals or corporations or unions should be buying our political system. We want to have spending limits, so that we don't have this massive media circus around elections. Elections right now at the presidential level are billion-dollar affairs, so they're really only accessible to the highest dollars. It's like politics for sale, and so that's why we have basically corporations in charge of every aspect of our lives right now. So again, I think Jill is the only pro-worker, pro-climate action, and anti-genocide campaign out there. She talks about that all the time. Again, I want to highlight that we have to stop the war and the genocide in Gaza. And the other thing is a universal health care program. We need to have we heard one of your colleagues here talk about womb to tomb, which is a great way to express it, that everybody should be covered for all the medical services they need. We should take the private profit out of the system. Insurance companies are not providers. They are deniers. Anybody who is on an insurance plan knows that am I going to get the services covered, or am I going to get the services denied? And that's even people who are paying premiums are not getting the services. We have close to 100 million people in this country who have either have no insurance or have substandard insurance, and many of them are still paying premiums. So we think we need a free at the point of service. You go to a doctor, the doctor tells you what you need, and the government is the insurer. The government pays the bill, and of course, it's paid through taxation. But the reality is, the Congressional Budget Office did a study. Universal health care program actually saves the federal treasury $400+ billion annually. So progressive policies are often, in fact, most often, even though there's a price tag attached to them, the savings on the back end of it, wellness, a lot of what we have in our healthcare system right now is sickness care. So the system keeps you sick and keeps extracting money from you for keeping you sick. The insurance companies are taking a lot right off the top. That's just going into shareholder and CEO profits and not to make people well. So we need a full comprehensive healthcare system that is not going to make people go bankrupt. And then we need a real Green New Deal, not a watered down Democratic Party Green New Deal that has been influenced by corporations, that actually doesn't talk about getting off of fossil fuels. We have to get off of fossil fuels. I mean, we're here in Las Vegas, where they hit a record the other couple of days ago. I think it was Sunday, of 120 degrees. Planes can't even land and take off because it's so hot. And this is happening all over the world. The Asian Indian subcontinent is experiencing massive heat right now. People are worried about immigration and refugees in this country, and I want to know what people think when 1.5 billion people on the Indian subcontinent suddenly have to leave because they can't grow food there, and it's too hot to live. And so we're going to see like massive climate refugee situation happening in the future, and I think we have to be prepared for that. The one way that we can really slow that down is to get off of fossil fuels, because even if we have renewable and sustainable energy, if we're not eliminating the carbon output into the atmosphere, we're not really solving the problem.
Another thing that's been really on a lot of Americans' hearts right now is inflation. Rent has gone up, price of food has gone up. What are some of the solutions that you guys are looking at in the Green Party or Jill Stein campaign at dealing with these large inflation rates? Like, my rent has gone up $400 in the last 2 years.
Yeah, well, we have these corporations that are basically buying up real estate. They're buying up single family homes. They're jacking up the rents. Landlords are jacking up the rents because just the general cost of property in an area is going up. But a lot of this is driven by speculation. I do, in my own personal life, I'm a commercial building inspector. So I go inspect buildings for fire safety and condition and stuff like that. And so I inspect these new condos, and I'm from the Seattle area. I inspect these new condos that are being built that are they're 800 square feet, and they're going for $500,000. And the developers don't care if they sit empty because the land is appreciating. Like, the land in the Seattle area has tripled in value over the last 20 years. And that is just driving up the rent for everybody. So we would support things like, and my point in bringing up the condos is they don't care if half the units sit empty. So we need to impose a vacancy tax on them. If you're going to have these high-priced developments that are unaffordable for most people, but you don't care because the land value is going up, then we're going to tax you heavily on that, because the most important thing is that we get people housed. We have a homeless problem. We have a lot of people who have who are having rent insecurity right now. They're wondering where they're going to be able to pay their rent from. So rent control, vacancy taxes, stopping corporations buying up family homes, all of these things can be implemented. It should not take half of a person's budget. It should not be half of a person's budget simply to pay rent.
Very interesting. Well, I want to thank you for your time, and I want to know, where can our viewers find out more about the Jill Stein campaign and the Green Party?
Absolutely. So we have an extensive, and I mean seriously deep dive, extensive platform at jillstein2024.com. You will see the platform button there. We have it broken into our sort of tagline is People, Planet, Peace. And so we have little drop down menus for People, Planet, and Peace that will address healthcare and social issues, address foreign policy, and address how we can have a better world.
All right, Jason, thank you very much. We appreciate you here at the Free and Equal Network. Make sure you guys are checking out the Green Party. If you want to donate to the Jill Stein campaign, you guys now have the information. You guys stay tuned. We have a great debate tonight. Jill Stein will be featured, as well as Randall Terry of the Constitution Party. And we also got Chase Oliver of the Libertarian Party. And who knows who might show up at that debate tonight, but you'll be able to find that on the Freedom Fest website. Reporting live, it's Kristan T Harris of the Free and Equal Network. You guys have a good one.